Welcome back and welcome to my BookTubeAthon TBR. This is the third in my week of readathon videos, and I am going to be telling you what I will be planning to read to meet the various BookTubeAthon challenges. I really wanted to take part in the BookTubeAthon last year and I was like, yes, I'm going to do it, totally going to do it. Didn't do it, didn't happen. For various reasons it didn't happen, so I will link the original video down below. The BookTubeAthon is hosted by Ariel Bissett, and she has got a whole channel dedicated to the BookTubeAthon, and it runs for 7 days between the 24th of July and a week later. Yeah, it includes 7 different challenges. So I've got my trusty gold notebook, as always, with my 7 challenges written down in it. Oh, look at that shiny. And what books I'm going to read for those 7 challenges. So challenge number 1 is to read a book with someone on the cover. Now, if you'll remember from my first video this week, I am currently rereading the I Heart series by Lindsay Kelk, and so I have I Heart Paris, and I have this, as I said, on Kindle or on audiobook, so I've got the option of how I would want to read or listen to this one. This is the US cover on the Kindle here, and the UK cover has a girl sitting at a table. So either the US or the UK cover have a person on the cover. I do have an alternative for this one though, because if I am still reading through the selection series by Kira Cass from my 24 and 48 readathon, then I may have one or more of those still to read as we enter the BookTubeAthon, and they all also have a person on the cover. So there are 2 of the books that I possibly will be reading during this week. And then challenge number 2 is to read a hyped book, and so for that I have got Into the Water by Paula Hawkins. Because of all the hype surrounding Girl on the Train, this one has been publicised and publicised. You see it when you go into Target, you see it as a suggestion when you click onto Amazon, so this is the overhyped book. Challenge number 3 is to finish a book in 1 day. Now, if we're attempting to make challenge number 7, which I'll tell you about in a minute, then possibly going to have to finish most of these books in 1 day. So I've taken something else from my TBR, and it's one of the shorter books, and this also ticks off challenges number 1 and 4, and that is There Is No Effing Secret, Letters from a Badass Bitch by Kelly Osbourne. This one isn't too long, so I shouldn't have any trouble finishing this one off in a day, and I always find that memoirs, autobiographies read a little bit quicker as well, but this also has a person on the cover. Challenge number 4 is to read about a character that is very different from you, so the Kelly Osbourne one ticks that off as well. But I also have left on my July TBR Raw by Cora Carmack, and this one is set in a fantasy world. It also has a person on the cover, and so this character is going to be very different from me because she lives in a fantasy world and I live in the real world. So that is ticking off challenge number 4, research a book about a character that is very different from you. So I should hold my notebook up higher so I'm not going like this the whole time. Challenge number 5 is to read a book outdoors. Well, I read quite a lot outdoors anyway. I'm very lucky that our apartment complex has a nice pool area, which during the week when I tend to be doing most of my reading is quite quiet. There are sofas out there, there are sun lounges out there, there are chairs and tables out there, and so I read quite a lot outdoors. So basically I could pick any one of these and decide that I'm going to read it outdoors. So I'm not going to assign a specific book to that category, but I'll let you know in my wrap up exactly which book I end up reading the entirety of it outdoors, because the rule is that you have to read all of that book outdoors. It might be the one that I read in 1 day, it might be the next one that I'm going to show you, it might be that I end up reading all of them outdoors. I don't know. It depends what the weather's like. Generally, it's hot. Challenge number 6, don't know why I keep saying question. Challenge number 6, read a book you bought because of the cover. Something else from my July TBR is Note to Self by Connor Franta, and this one is just gorgeous. It looks like it's got a Polaroid on the cover, and then this here, if I can, oh, is this gorgeous rose gold. Okay, and this one is a book I bought because of the cover, and it also is a book that I will have no trouble reading in one sitting, because some of the pages just have a little bit of writing and a picture on. Some of them just have a picture on, some of them have a tiny bit of writing, some of them have a poem and a picture, so I think I'm probably going to be able to read this one in one sitting as well. So this ticks off a couple of challenges too, but I'm really looking forward to sitting down and reading this one. And then the final challenge of any BookTubeAthon is to read 7 books in 7 days. So I've already shared with you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, but I have a couple of options that I can throw in for reading a 7th book. So I decided that I was going to read a little bit of this every day, which is Too Fat, Too Slutty, Too Loud, The Rise and Reign of the Unruly Woman by Anne Helen Peterson. I decided I was going to read a little bit every day in July to get this read. So far, I've read the introduction and half the first section. So I may dip into this during my 24 and 48 hour readathon. If not, I will be finishing this one during the BookTubeAthon. Then I have, from the library, been recommended this one, which is Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch, and I know I'm going to enjoy this one. Whether I'll get to this one during the BookTubeAthon, I'm not entirely sure, but it's an option for book number 7. It's quite a thick one, so I'm not sure how we get on, but it's got quite big text. This one's quite ripped up actually. It's obviously been well read. So this one has just under 400 pages, but the font is really quite big. So might get to this one during the BookTubeAthon, or I also have another audiobook option, which is Tell Me 3 Things, which I just borrowed from the library. So neither of those 2 books are on my July TBR, and I would like to get through my July TBR, but both those books are books I really want to read and came available from the library. So either of those could be contenders for book number 7. I am hoping to take part in some of the video challenges because I enjoyed doing the challenges during the holiday BookTubeAthon. There are video challenges and there are Instagram challenges, so keep an eye out on the BookTubeAthon Instagram and Twitter and YouTube account for those. I will link all of those down below for you, but I'm hoping to be able to make the challenge videos so you can look forward to lots of videos from me next week. And yeah, let me know if you are taking part in the BookTubeAthon. If you enjoyed the look of my TBR, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you want to be first to see those challenge videos that hopefully I'm going to post next week, then give this video a subscribe. I would love to have you on board. And yes, I will see you next week with some challenge videos. Bye.